Let's understand regarding the pharmaceutical development and technology transfer process from R&D to manufacturing. Welcome dear viewers to this video on technology transfer from R&D to manufacturing. What are the activities? What are different stages and batches? So there are different batches produced in the R&D. There are different phases from research to the manufacturing. In research, the formulation and process is developed as a prototype. Then its stability is studied, its parameters are studied, and then it is given to the scale up. Many of the times the batches are studied for the pilot bioequivalence study as well. Different batches are prepared or manufactured and tested. The batch types are produced to test, validate, and ensure the quality of the pharmaceutical product. And this activity helps to scale up or to scale the batches from small lab scale batches to the large manufacturing scale production batches. So there are batches like laboratory batches, R&D batches we can say, or development batches or prototype development batches for feasibility study. These batches are small in batch size like grams to some kgs, and the purpose of these development batches is to test and improve the formulation and manufacturing process, to develop the product composition and to develop the manufacturing process, and then check how ingredients work together, conduct the initial stability studies, dissolution studies, and the quality parameters. The R&D batches serves as the foundation for all the further development. Then exhibit and registration batches. Batch size, it is pilot scale or it is near commercial scale you can say. And these batches, batch size is as per the requirement of the regulatory agencies, like 1 lakh batch size or 1/10 of the commercial batch size. Sometimes some of the products have lesser batch size also. The purpose of these batches is to generate the data for regulatory approval like ANDA, generic application, marketing authorization application, NDA, and generic applications. And the main purpose is to prove the process can be repeated consistently, that is reproducibility and robustness. These provide the sample for the bioequivalence studies, and these are the pivotal bioequivalence studies. Generally, 3 batches are taken. We can take more batches also to show the reproducibility, but the general requirement is 3 consecutive batches which pass all the quality parameters, and one of the batch is tested for the bioequivalence. All the batches are required to be loaded on stability in the to be marketed pack. Then scale up batches. This is the stage moving from lab to pilot scale. Purpose is to check the scale related issues like problems in the mixing, drying, granulation, filtration, depending on to the formulation design, and also to make the process feasible parameters to study the feasibility at the scale up batches. These batches are taken to optimize the process parameters and to select the best equipment, best process parameters, and to have the control over critical process parameters which can affect the drug product CQS. Importance of the scale-up batches is that it helps to make the process ready for large-scale production. Then coming to the process validation, or generally these are called as PV batches. So batch size for these PV batches is full commercial scale, that is manufacturing batch scale or batch size, and purpose is to show that the process is reliable, reproducible, and the product is robust. These batches prove the process that it is under control, and generally 3 successful batches are required. The results are included in the process validation report from these batches. Then some of the time we take the engineering batches, trial batches also. The purpose is to have the understanding and study the equipment, utilities, and production line before validation. The use of the trial batches, engineering batches, is to identify potential problems, train the operators and the people who are working on these products, and learn how the process works at the bigger scale. Usually, it is not for the regulatory approval, and it is often not commercialized or sold in the market. It is for the study. For example, you have taken some new equipments like hot melt extrusion, then you need to take some batches to understand the equipment, to understand the utilities working or not properly, like supply of the electric or things, and how the equipment will work, and how you can learn regarding the product. Then commercial batches. So these are the routine production batches, manufacturing scale batches, which are directly sent to the market. So it is routine production after validation. Purpose is to make the product for market release. And these batches are required to comply for all the GMP requirements, rules, and meet the validated process parameters which are developed in the scale up exhibit and the validation batches. These are required to pass all the QA/QC checks, and these are released into the market. Then the stability batches. So these can be overlap or as a part of the exhibit or PV batches. Sometimes for stability batches, people call it as exhibit batch, or people call it as pivotal batches or process validation batches. So depending upon the scale, you can call it. Then purpose of the stability batches is that the generation of the stability data. Put on the stability testing, long-term accelerated and ongoing, determine shelf life, ensure the regulatory requirements are met for these batches. And the data serves as a pivotal data for the shelf life determination, finalization of the storage conditions, and finalization of the packs. Now, once again, let's understand regarding different batches and their batch size and stages. Lab scale batches are small in size, and these are the foundations for the product design, process design, composition finalization, and initial packaging finalization. And purpose is to test the formulation, process, and the stability. Then exhibit batches, registration batches. So these are pilot or commercial scale batches, depending upon the batch sizes. And the purpose of these batches is to demonstrate reproducibility, bioequivalence, regulatory submission. Scale up, that is pilot or commercial. It may be the scale up or commercial. Then many of the times, just I wanted to let you know regarding the exhibit batches, scale up batches. Sometimes these all three exhibit batches, scale up batches, PV batches have the small scale, like 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, or 1 lakh 40,000, like depending upon the equipments available with the organization. So the scale up batch is to study the parameters. These may be the with batch size of pilot or commercial or exhibit. These test the scale related factors to optimize the process, finalize the process parameters, and to finalize the limits for the critical process parameters. Then PV batches, these are commercial batches. Sometimes exhibit batches are called as PV batches. Then show the reliability and reproducibility, and these are for the validation of the process. Many of the times, if your commercial batch size and exhibit batch size is same, you can make it the same, like exhibit and PV batches will be same. But after finalization approval, some commercial batches are required to be done for the PV. If you are going to change the batch sizes or excipients, or so that will come into the SUPAC level changes or variation changes. Now, engineering trials are there for the equipments and to understand about the requirements of the utilities, proper function of the equipments, and the people are required to be trained. So that time engineering batches, trial batches are taken. These are the internal batches. There is no requirement of the regulatory for this, but it is always advisable that all the engineering batches or trial batches at plant are required to comply with the requirements like scale up and exhibit batches. Then commercial batches, these are the uh, batches to make the product and market it. Then release of the commercial batches after the complete QA and QC fulfillment of the requirements. Stability batches, these are the exhibit batches or PV batches, you can say. These may be from the lab scale, PV scale, or exhibit scale, to generate the stability data, to understand the storage conditions, to understand the potential degradations, impurity qualification, and many other activities are performed. Stability batches for the shelf life and stability determination, and these are required to be done with the all regulatory requirement compliance, and these batches data support the regulatory filing. So I hope this video will give you understanding about this process flow, batch sizes, in R&D at scale up, exhibit PV, commercial, and some engineering or trial batches. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any questions, you can comment and mail me. I will try to answer your questions. Once again, thank you for being with this channel and being with this video, and let's meet soon with another informative video.